Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestaya Te. Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestaya Te. Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestaya Te. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Lahiranya, Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Chaitanya, Raja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda, Raja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda, Gopala Govinda Rama, Krishna, Madana Mohana, Krishna, Gopala Govinda Rama. Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Haribol, everybody sing loud. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, 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 Gopala Govinda Rama. Haribol! Jai Gurudev! Haribol! Haribol! Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Goranga Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Goranga Jaya Jaya Shila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Shila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Naminai Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate So when we speak or discuss about association with devotees, when we get together, we recall, discuss, read the instruction of our instructing spiritual master, Lord Krsna, and the saintly person or the pure loving servant, the residents of Vrindavan, coming in the long line of unbroken chain of spiritual master to our spiritual master, Jagad Guru Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. So it's about remembrance. Kailangan maalaala nyo parati. That's why we associate together here to remember the teachings of Lord Krsna, helping one another to be focused and remember what has been given to us, the descending process, the knowledge coming from the Supreme Person, the wisdom that will be the guiding principle or the foundation of whatever we do in our life, that should be the foundation of our decision making and our goal. So, to put it in vernacular, nagsasama-sama tayo rito as association, sa association natin, to associate with Lord Krsna and our spiritual master. And all the residents of Vrindavan coming from Parampara by hearing the glories of Lord Krsna. Kasi inseparable sila sa glories ni Lord Krsna. Bakit? It is about devotional service, pag-ibig, pagsisilbi sa Diyos. Okay? So kahapon, we discussed what is relevant to our progress. So what is our relationship with God? With Lord Krsna? Is it we're asking something? Or we just want to please Him, give our life, surrender to Him? So we must come to that point wherein we really relate to the Supreme Person, the perfect example of those activities were narrated to us and expressed to us by our instructing spiritual master through the pastimes of Krishna Lila or the pastimes of Lord Krishna, or when Lord Krishna was in Vrindavan, and he's always in Vrindavan, okay, in this planet, okay, and he left. So the devotees, they're just thinking how to please Krishna. Krishna, the Supreme Person, is in Mathura, very far, but he's still there with them. Nandun sa kasama nila kasi iniisip nila, kumusta kaya si Krishna? Ano kaya yung sitwasyon niya? They're always thinking of the well-being of Lord Krishna. Okay? Because Lord Krishna appeared in Vrindavan not as, they don't know that the Supreme Person, Lord Krishna, is a Supreme Person. They simply see Him as the wonderful child, the most beautiful child. So they're ignorant of the true situation, because Lord Krishna put it in such a way that they're not seeing Him as God. So their relationship is not with, oh, they can embrace Krishna, they can talk to Lord Krishna, Mother Yasoda can reprimand Lord Krishna, the friends can be fighting with Lord Krishna. So our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, was telling us that in the spiritual world, ignorance is bliss. Alam mo ignorance? You don't know. But it's bliss. It gives you ananda or pleasure. So when Lord Krishna was in Vrindavan, they don't see Him as the Supreme Person. They just play with Him. The gopis of Vrindavan, they see Him as the most wonderful, lovable child. Hindi nila nakikita si Krishna as God. So you go to the church, kaya pupunta kayo sa church, di ba? Pagpunta kayo sa church, any place of worship, you go to the place of worship, you're in awe and veneration. Diyos ko po, di ba? You're in awe na, Diyos ko po, pero the attitude is, I want something. Okay? Gusto ko ito. Gusto ko ma-save. Di ba? Yan ang, ano nyo? Lahat tayo ganon. Diyos ko po, may awe, may pag-atubili. Kasi He's powerful. But in Vrindavan, it's not like that. So Mother Yasoda can tie Lord Krishna because He's very naughty. Okay? They don't see Him as God, the most wonderful child. And they're just in focus in pleasing God. Kaya when Krishna left Vrindavan, they're thinking, how is this Krishna? How is our dear, lovable child? Is he doing well? Lagi nilang iniisip yung pleasure, yung welfare ni Lord Krishna. So, they're always connected with the source of happiness, the source of love, because Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita, He's the support. Okay? He's the Lord of love. He's complete. Okay? So when we connect ourselves in meditation, especially when we're given the opportunity to serve our Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and we make effort to engage in the practice or listen or faithfully follow His instruction, then we experience connection with the source of happiness and pleasure, ananda, pleasure. Okay? And when we make progress, we will be in samadhi. Our faith will be very focused. And we will be in a situation to control the urge of the mind. That's why I'm discussing this. So malaman natin ano yung isang qualification, virtue that will help us to be focused, patience, may tiyaga. Pero hindi yung nagtsatsaga ka na wala kang nahihita. Kundi habang may patient ka, like for example, the residents of Vrindavan, they don't want Lord Krishna to leave Vrindavan. Ayaw niya siya umalis. Even the gopis blocked his way and please don't leave. They were crying, they were begging him not to leave. So Krishna was able to appease them that he'll come back. Babalik siya. Okay. So when we come in contact with Lord Krishna, with the representative of Lord Krishna, God the servant, the Paramatma, the Lord from the outside, He connects us with the source of happiness by giving us instruction. And that instruction is about how we can offer our life, our love, and always be in meditation to surrender. Surrender means not raising your hands, but to surrender, to always think what we can do that is pleasing to Krishna. We think about how we can offer Him nicely. Okay. So the residents of Vrindavan, you can see clearly when you read that narrative from our spiritual master, they were always thinking of the welfare of Krishna. Like Jagad, they were always thinking ng welfare ni Krishna. Hindi nila inisip, wala si Krishna, paano tayo? Hindi nila inisip yun. Iniisip nila, kumusta kaya siya? So relationship is not contaminated with material consideration. It's discussed, it's samadhi. Because it's about the transcendental, pure loving servant of Krishna in harmony with the pleasure potency, Lord Krishna, okay, in service. So Lord Krishna appeased them. Okay? He puts them because He doesn't want a relationship with His pure loving servant in awe and veneration, especially the residents of Vrindavan. So they can play with Him, hug Him, take care of Him. They're always thinking of Krishna. So that is not our situation here in the material world. We're always thinking of this body, our welfare, tayo ba? But ang problem, we are disconnected with the source of happiness, fulfillment, who is self-sufficient, who loves us. And that person is Lord Krishna. Krishna means all attractive, the all attractive supreme person, whose world is simply enjoyment of pure loving service in reciprocation with His pure loving servant. Yun yung mundo na pinapaano sa atin, inilalatag sa atin when we come in contact with Parampara. A world of a relationship with God. Hindi yung punta ka sa church, Diyos ko po, bigyan mo ako nito. Diyos ko po, masama akong tao. I-save mo ako. Hindi ganun. You're not asking anything from God. That's why the third prayer of Lord Chaitanya, we must be experiencing this humbleness. You can fall down without any protection. My Lord, please protect me. I have nowhere to go. Without you, I have no life. Okay? So ang gusto kong pag-usapan natin, patient. Tiyaga. Di ba may kasabihan, pag may tiyaga, may nilaga. Pag may tinanim ka, naghintay ka, may anihin. So even sa material world, dito sa atin, kung halimbawa, newlywed, mag-asawa, they're both fertile, pag marry nila, hindi naman agad yung wife, may baby agad eh. Hindi ganun, di ba? It takes time, di ba? If they're both fertile, the wife becomes pregnant, then there's a child inside the body, sa tummy, sa ovary, then she's patient. Hanggang 9 months, hanggang lumabas yung baby. Okay? Hindi parang pag nagtanim ka ng, nagtanim kayo ng avocado. Hindi naman paglagay mo dyan, avocado, bukas may bunga na. Kailangan may tiyaga ka. Okay? Isang virtue and quality na patience. So, bakit? Ito yung sasabihin ko sa inyo. Remember the pastimes of the cobbler, saka the meditator. Yung meditator, yung nakaupo siya sa tabi ng banyan tree, may shade, tapos harap siya ng temple, he's offering to Lord Krishna he just takes yung basic needs niya, lahat ng ino-offer niya sa deity kay Lord Krishna. Then na-meet niya si Narada Muni. Okay. For years and years, nakaupo lang siya doon, but yung meditation niya is an offering of service to the deity, Lord Krishna. May tiyaga ba siya? Okay? It shows that because of the transcendental meditation he's engaging in, he's able to control the urge of the mind, to redirect the mind. Ano yung activities ng mind? Thinking, feeling, willing. Now, if you're in the material dimension, you're disconnected from the source of life and happiness, the mind will always be agitated. Kasi nga, you follow the desires in the mind. You will be roaming around, trying to look for, hahanap ka ng fulfillment sa urge ng mind. Kaya hindi ka kalmado. Nakaupo ka rito, pero yung mind mo saan pupunta? Yung urge to think. Kasi sa conditioning natin. And the false ego. Your false ego means you identify with the body and control, and the mind is so much exposed and conditioned to trying to think, and the desires are there. You, the person, identify with the mind. What happened? Ano mangyari sa inyo? Wala kayong pasensya. Di ba? Pero yung devotee, makikita nyo, kaya nga may kasabihan, if you're practicing, engaging in devotional service, you're patient, then good things happen to patient people. Yung mga taong may tiyaga, may magandang mangyayari sa kanila, especially when you are faithful to following the instruction of your our spiritual master, and the message of Lord Krishna to surrender to Him. You have this faith fixed, and this faith, it becomes very focused, and that faith becomes your life, your love, because your focus now is to please God, to do His will. And when you are in that transcendental meditation, guided by the instruction of our spiritual master, engaging in the process of devotional service, just like the cobbler, he's always in meditation while working the fruits of his labor, he offers to Lord Krishna. Okay? That's his life. Years and years. Sunrise, sunset. Okay? Years and years. Nagbunga yung banyan tree, balik, pero he's simply longing to please Krishna. Unlike someone who is selfish and not making progress, he's longing or she's longing to simply be pacified. Alam mo yung pacified? Kasi turbulent yung mind mo eh. Hindi ka mapakali. Kailangan may gumawa ka ng something. Sabi naman, lakad, punta rito. Okay? Punta sa CR. Maghugas ng kamay. Tumingin sa mukha mo. Okay? Maglaro ng laway. Okay? Yung mind laging kaya agitated ka. Kasi you are not really faithful and following the process. But the process is the spiritual master, nagplant siya ng seed ng bhakti sa heart natin. Okay? Pag nagplant siya, you must take care of it. May mga process. Pag nag-alaga ka ng maliit na tanim, alagaan mo, koralan mo. Kasi baka tapakan ng mga malalaking mga hayop. Tapos alagaan mo, lagyan mo ng abono, lagyan mo hanggang lumaki, magbulaklak o kaya magbunga. Makikita mo, matitikman mo yung bunga, pwede mo offer kay Krishna. Okay? Ganon din sa spiritual life. Dapat may tiyaga ka. Hindi naman pag nagtanim ka ng buto, bukas mangga, mamaya may puno na munga na. Para kung si Krishna ka, kagaya ni Lord Chaitanya, tinanong niya yung mga devotees sa Pastimes niya, what fruit do you want to eat? Mango. So, nakuha siya ng mango, tinanim niya. Tumubo yung mango, may bunga, mango. Si Krishna, pwede niyang gawin, walang buto. Okay? Because Krishna has inconceivable potencies. Inconceivable beyond the comprehension of your mind. Ngayon, yung mundo nyo, you think you're God. You're playing God. Eh, yung utak mo, ganito lang kalito, wala pang laman. Okay? Kaya wala kang pupuntahan. Bugo ba? Wala kang makita. Kasi yung mind hindi ikaw. Matter. Eh, doon ka nakadepend. Yung building blocks mo, yung buhay mo nakadepend sa speculation mo, sa urge ng mind to think, to feel, and willingness na dictated ka. You have been servant of the mind. Nakita nyo? Naintindihan nyo na Shingadas? Ganon, na servant tayo ng mind natin? Paano tayo magiging free na yung urge ng mind makontrol natin? By Krishna, the Supreme Purifier, because we are so empty-hearted. And when we chant, we put our mind, receive the holy names through the ear, and focus the mind, redirect it, and connect it with the source of love, the source of pleasure, Lord Krishna, under the guidance of our spiritual master, by following his instruction. His will is the will of God. So if you follow the instruction of the spiritual master, it is God's will. Ganun kasimple. He tells you, Harinama, chant the holy names. The mind will tell you, no. Chant something else. ML, tik-tak-tuk, tuk-tuk-tuk. Di ba? Naintindihan nyo? Kaya yun ang conditioning natin. Kaya nandito kayo sa harap, hindi kayo mapakali. Wala kang patient. Wala kang patient. So, bad things happens to people who are impatient. Okay. Alam niyo bakit? Halimbawa, bigyan ko halimbawa. Wala kang pasensya, gusto mong kumain, gutom na gutom ka. May pressure cooker dyan. Pagkulo, alam mo 10 minutes. 10 minutes bago mo patayin. Kasi lata na yung beans. Pero wala kang pasensya. Anong gagawin mo? Tanggalin mo, buksan mo. Ano mangyari sa'yo? Tapon sa'yo lahat yung mainit na tubig. Wala kang pasensya. You cannot control the urge of the mind. Ganun lang kasimple. Ngayon, nag-i-engage ka sa practice. Dahan-dahan ka, you come in contact with the source of happiness. What the prime benediction for humanity at large. Lord Krishna's holy names is invested with transcendental potency and power. And what is that power? To fulfill what we're longing for. The happiness we're looking. Not from the mind, but from God. Kaya nandito ka sa lugar, wala kang patient. Dugay man kayo ni ay. Okay? Dugay man kayo ni. Nga naman. Kasi you're controlled by Maya. By the urge of the mind. Intindihan niyo? So patience, tiyaga, isang virtue yan na will give you good result. Because that patience, if it's under the guidance of Lord Krishna and our spiritual master, it is transcendental, it is eternal, and it is about a connection of devotion to doing the will of God. Kaya wala ka sa mundo, hindi ka impatient, hindi ka agitated. Kaya habang yung devotee, nag-work siya, nasa katawan siya, nag-work siya, nag-offer, he's fixed. Kasi yung thinking niya, yung feeling niya, yung willingness niya is to do the will of God. It's not anymore doing the will of a force greater than you, lust, Maya. Yan. Kaya meron ka na ngayong, on one hand, alam mo ito mangyayari sa'yo, on another hand, ito. And the perfect example are the devotees of God, like the cobbler, who's sitting sa temple, nandun siya, nag-o-offer years and years and years, may pasensya siya. Sa pag-engage niya sa service, yung buhay niya, yung pag-iisip niya lahat, it's simply longing for God, doing what is pleasing to God. While he's longing for the Supreme Person, it's not just his conjuring, imagining, hindi ganon. He engages in activities, sacrifice. Lahat ng kinikita niya, kunin lang yung maintenance ng body, he offers to Krishna in devotion. Is it clear sa inyo? Intindihan niyo? So yun yung dapat nating i-follow, yung patient. Hindi pwedeng mindless, alam mo yung, hindi naman servant of the mind. Kasi pag mindless, ibig sabihin nun, wala ka na. I don't know where you are. Nasa oblivion ka na. Mindless idiot ba? Nakatingin ka pero wala ka. Hindi ka na sumusunod sa... Naandun ka na lang. Ibig sabihin, natabunan ka na ba? Hindi mo naririnig. Wala ka naririnig. Dahil wala kang pasensya. But how can we be having this patience? When we become purified from the influence of lust. And what is that lust? We have been for so long doing our own will, yung pag-ibig natin, paghahanap ng kapunuan ay napunta dito sa material energy, a different energy. Kaya nandun ka, nakatunganga. Nakabukas yung bibig mo, tumutulo yung laway mo. Nasa harap ka ng, nandun ka na sa sitwasyon, yung opportunity to be free, to experience, to enter that world of devotion. Because you're put in a situation, you have association with Parampara through our spiritual master and the congregational chanting and the narrative based upon the 9 process of devotional service, the hearing and chanting of the glories of God. That's it. Pero wala ka mang pasensya. Nakita niyo yung mga nag-aaral na sikat na businessman, naka-achieve sila ng career na maganda. Para maging doktor ka, how many years kailangan mag-aral? Kung gusto mo quack doctor, pwede. Magbudul-budul ka lang dyan. Laway-laway lang, ganon. Okay? Magawa ka lang ng mga imagination mo na itong bato na to, pag inawakan mo, mapupurify ka, gagaling ka. Bayad ka. Okay? Pero hindi ganon. You have to study 4 years, another 4 years. Sacrifice, austerity, to learn the skill. Yung businessman, hindi naman nakaupo lang yun, araw-araw nag-iisip ng pera na wala sa bulsa niya. Nag-iisip parati yung paano makakuha ng pera, paano makipag-deal na mabudol-budol yung mga tao para bumili ng produkto niya. Para malagyan niya ng pera yung bulsa niya or bank account niya. Pero hindi ganun kadali yun. Araw-araw nakaupo lang yun. Ang mantra nun, pera, 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 pera. Kasi bakit pera? Para may control. Pero yung devotee, hindi ganun. Pwedeng nag-iisip siya pa, may ability siya talaga, magaling siya gumawa ng pera, pero pag may pera, hindi niya ginagawa na foundation niya yun. Alam niya kay Krsna yun eh. Good karma, nasa kanya yun. Pag naubos na yung good karma, ano mangyayari? Wala ka ng pera rin. Trabaho ka naman, ka-good ka. So yung path na fina-follow nyo, very clear yan. Kailangan dapat may pasensya ka. Para maging abogado ka, maging doktor ka, maging teacher ka, okay? Maging principal ka ng isang school, okay? Kailangan may pasensya ka. Hindi pwedeng, punta ka sa library, nanay ko teacher, may dala kang libro, teacher ako. Nanay ko teacher. Hindi ganun. Dapat may pasensya ka. So sa spiritual life, yung patience, very important yan. Kaya ko diniscuss to, kasi ganito. Because of the meditation of the residents of Vrindavan, they have this transcendental relationship with Lord Krishna. Patient sila sa instruction ni Lord Krishna. Sa promise ni Lord Krishna, faithful sila. When Lord Krishna tells them, He will come back, they waited. Okay? They waited. Because Krishna is always thinking of them, and they're always thinking to please Krishna. They're not asking anything. They just want to please Krishna. Like Mother Yasoda. Every morning, he takes care of Krishna, bathe Lord Krishna, baby Krishna, and like what you do with the deity. Yeah, you offer something, you put time, taking of Lord Krishna sa deity. But there is a transcendental experience that when you're doing that, there is a transcendental connection with your heart, with your mind, with your whole being, in devotion to please Krishna. You have life. It's purifying, you enter that world of a relationship. It's a practice you do every day. Tindihan niya? Hindi pwedeng pag wala kang tiyaga, walang nilaga. So, in spiritual life, if you're patient, may tiyaga ka, years and years, may pasensya ka, good things happen to you, transcendental. I'll give you one example. Sa life ng devotees. Hindi yung life ng mga tao rito. Life ng devotees. Okay? Real devotees, hindi devote. Muchukukunda was asked by the demigods to join the battle against the demons. Kasama niya si Kartikeya, ang commander-in-chief, no? Ng mga warriors na demigods. For years and years, nakikipaglaban sila sa universe na to against the demons. Yun ang ginagaya na papanood yung palabas sa sine. X-Men, Black Men. Pero ito totoo to na hindi yung katang-isip ng mga taong gusto lang na imagination, katha. Okay? Hindi one tamad na istorya ba? Ito usapang transcendental. Okay? So what happened? Years and years, wala na yung mga pamilya niya. Wala na siyang uwian. Kasi years of the demigods, ilan years nag-meditate si Hiranyakashipu sa demigod's time, thousands of years, nakaupo lang siya. Okay. Katayo. Years and years and years and years. Okay. Then, he was given reprieve. Binigyan siya na, okay, para bang porlo. Alam yung porlo? Bakasyon muna siya, mag-rest. Binigyan siya ng benediction to rest in a cave. Muchukukunda. Okay? He's a warrior, a devotee of Lord Krishna. Then, because of his patience, because of his perseverance, his austerity and sacrifice to do what is pleasing to God. That is his life. And then he rested, given that boon by the demigods. Okay, rest ka muna. Wala siyang uwian nasa cave. But what happened was during the battle wherein Jarasandha and Kalayabana were about to attack Dwarka, Krishna came out of Dwarka. So Kalayabana, this demon, to protect, kasi si Lord Balaram nasa loob eh. Eh nandun si Jarasandha, ang dami ring sundalo. Si Kalayabana, hindi natin alam saan galing, pero ang daming sundalo. It is described that it's like an ocean ready to engulf Dwarka. Hindi mo na makita yung parang yung tao dikit-dikit ba? Dami. Okay? Yung war na yun, lahat nakano, So lumabas si Krishna, kita siya ni Kalayabana. Hinabol siya. Hindi niya mahabol. Kasi ang description ni Krishna, he's very near, he's very far. He does not walk, but he walks. He runs faster than anyone. Inconceivable ba? Okay. He's in front of you, he's outside of you. Krishna, okay? So nangyari, takbo siya. Hinabol siya ni Kalayabana. Napunta si Kalayabana ngayon doon sa cave. Makita niya si Muchukunda nakahiga. Akala niya si Krishna. Sinipa niya. Eh may bunsi si Muchukunda. Now if somebody wakes him up untimely, what will happen is that that person will be burned by just staring at him. May power siya ba? Pag gising niya, di ba may kasabihan, makipagbiro ka na sa lasing, wag lang sa bagong gising. Di ba? Naalala niyo yan? Pag bagong gising, wag kang magbiro. Baka pag gising mo, sa lasing pwede pa kasi pwede mo panloko-lokohin eh. Di ba kasi ang lasing, mas maliit na tao, kala niya malaki siya. Okay? Mas maliit, pero insin powerful. Pwede mo bulayin, uy, dako kakayo, mas ikamatoy ka. Pero yung bagong gising, mahirap. Lalo na pag sinipa mo. Natutulog, sinipa mo. Okay? So nasunog si Kalayabana. Pagkita niya, nag-appear si Lord Krishna. Okay? Hindi niya makita si Lord Krishna dahil sa effulgence ng Brahmana effulgence. And then nakita na-realize agad niya, my dear Lord, you are the supreme person, Lord Krishna. So nakita niya si Lord Krishna. Muchukunda, in front of him, because of his patience. Okay, may patience siya, transcendental. Si Kalayabana. Sinipa muna niya. Sakala niya si Krishna na nagtatago. Kasi habang hinahabol niya si Krishna, sumisigaw siya, huminto ka! Duwag! So pagpasok, kita niya, si Krishna nagtatago, lolokohin ako. Sinipa niya, hindi pala si Krishna yun. So, yung blessing ng demigod, na pag ginising siya untimely, alam ni Krishna yun. Kaya sinipa niya, pag gising ni Muchukunda, sino ka? Sunog into ashes. Si Kalayabana. Yung demon. Nandun man si Krishna, hinahabol niya, pumasok man sa cave. So, ang point ko rito, kung sa time natin, ang tagal, demigod's time nawala lang yun ang buong family niya. Yung ninuno, na tuhod ng kuko, wala na. Siya na lang mag-isa. Wala na siyang uwian. Pero dahil yung buhay niya is to serve Krishna, is connected with the source of pleasure, Krishna, in devotion, and guided by the demigods or servants of Krishna. Okay? So Krishna came. So kung ma-appreciate nyo, sa travel nyo dito sa material world, you come in contact with the friend of Krishna, our Gurudev. Ang tagal na nyo rito sa mundo na to pero wala kayong pasensya. Yeah? So back to the point na gusto kong sabihin. So the devotee the cobbler, he met Narada Muni. Okay? At sabi niya, Narada Muni. Nag-bow down siya. Yeah? Tuwan-tuwa siya kasi Narada Muni, spiritual master natin. Okay? Sabi niya, where are you going? Tinanong. I'm going to see Narayan. Okay? Okay. And ang tanong niya, Can I ask something from you? Ano yon? Can you please ask him kailan ako pupunta sa kanya? Okay? Pero habang tinatanong niya yon, with humility, hindi siya kagaya ng attitude natin. Pagpunta niya sa simbahan, God! Save me! My mom, she's dying. Okay? Don't let her die. So, anong nangyari? Namatay nanay mo. COVID. Galit ka. Kung talagang Diyos ka, maawain ka. Okay? Why? Diba? Why not? Diba? So yun ang relationship natin. But the cobbler, hindi ganun. He's humble, and he persevere. May tiyaga siya. Kaya niyang araw-araw nandun, sunrise, sunset, ulan, init. Yun lang ginagawa niya, thinking how to serve Krishna. Okay? So when you make progress in the process that is given to us, the sacrifice in Kali Yuga, the prime sacrifice, yung pinaka-sacrifice, yajna, the Sankirtan yajna, you engage in that process, and that process itself is purifying, and not only that, it gives you connection with the source of happiness, Krishna. Because it's His will that to glorify Him, to praise Him, that's what He wants. Because He has this transcendental ego. Number one, not us. Meron tayong akala natin ego. Ba't ganito lang kaliit? Okay? Maraming false ego. Okay? So, nangyari, na-meet na naman yung meditator. Yung meditator, dugay na meditate. Hey, I go to the Brahman. Meditate. Asana, Kundalini yoga practice, pretzel. Nakita, Narada. Uy, who are you? I'm Narada Muni, okay? Where are you going? How come you're here? I'm go visit Narayan. Oh. Can you ask him? Ask him when I'll go see him. Pero ang difference, hindi siya devotee ni Krishna. Yung puso niya, yung pagmamahal niya, wala doon. It's all about him going to Krishna. So what's the point you go to Krishna, Lord Krishna, wala ka namang pag-ibig? You'll not be happy there. Okay? Balik ka ulit rito. Kasi hindi yun ang mundo mo eh. Mundo mo, sarili mo lang. So, another point is this. So, when Narada Muni came back, dahil sinabi ni Narada Muni dun nung nandun siya kay Lord Narayan, pauwi na siya, sabi niya, na-meet ko yung dalawang individuals. Yung isa, devotee, your pure loving servant, the cobbler, who is always offering to you in devotion. Yung isa naman is someone who is just a meditator. Okay? And they're both asking when they can see you. They'll come back to you. The devotee, he's asking when he'll go to you, come back to you. Yung isa, when he'll go to you. Okay? There's a difference, diba? Just go there. Yung isa, when can I see my loved one, my life? Okay? Yun ang meditation niya. Even though nandun siya malayo kay Lord Krishna, still yung heart niya, yung bumbuhay niya in meditation. Transcendental. He experienced this connection. Kaya nung may patience siya. Kasi because when you're connected with the source of happiness, the prime benediction, the holy names, you have this happiness within. Because you're connected with the source of happiness, Lord Krishna. And that connection is based upon His will, devotion, your heart, your life. Yung isa, hindi ganun. Yung isa, gusto lang niya pumunta. Kaya nung pagkita, tinanong yung si Narada Muni. Kasi sabi ni Lord Krishna, if they ask what I'm doing, just tell them I'm treading an eye in the eye of in the eye of a needle, an elephant. And when they both ask you when they can see me, tell the devotee that after his lifetime in the body, he'll come back to me. But tell the other guy that in 1,000 lifetimes. Okay? But time lang yun eh. You're eternal. Okay? Kaya lang, nangyari nung na-meet niya si Narada Muni, tinanong niya, oh, you came back? You saw Narayan? Yung pa ang tanong niya, you saw Narayan? Nakita mo si Narayan? Okay. Yes. Kailan daw ako pupunta sa kanya? Sabi niya, 1,000 lifetimes. Ha? So yung thinking niya, yung feeling niya, it's demanding ba? No. Hindi kagaya ng devotee, service has done itself. His heart, his life, okay? So nangyari, kung talaga nagpunta ka ron, anong ginagawa niya? Wala lang, nakaupo siya, yung elepante, tinutuhog niya sa eye ng needle. Hindi kasi Narada Muni, halis dito, halis dito. Okay? So wala siyang pananaw na God can do anything. Okay? Because it comes from Him. Wala siyang pagmamahal. Wala siyang realization of surrender. Kaya nung sinabi sa kanya yun, you'll come back 1,000 years, 1,000 lifetimes, wala siyang pasensya. Ang tagal. Pero yung devotee, dahil naintindihan niya, he's engaging in devotional service, walang time. Because the spirit soul, the body is connected with time. But you, the person, you're not connected with time. You're eternal. So if we are connected with this transcendental relationship with the Supreme Person, we are able to direct the mind, the thinking, the feeling, and the willing, guided by Krishna, the holy names, then there's no time. Because it's about a transcendental, eternal relationship of the spirit soul engaging in a transcendental offering of devotion. Kaya, nung lumapit siya sa cobbler, nakita pala siya, nagbow na yung cobbler eh. My dear Narada Muni, I'm very happy you came back. Okay? What is Lord Narayan? Did you ask him when I can go back to him? Said, when you at the finish of this body, you're gonna go to him. Wow! What is he doing? He's just treading an elephant into the eye of the needle, and the devotee dances. Oh Lord, my wonderful Lord. Okay? Completely surrender, completely understanding God's inconceivable potency. Completely sheltered. No doubt in his mind. He understands God is inconceivable potency. And the time is irrelevant. Because while he is in the body, he's completely with happiness, samadhi, serving and loving God. So Krishna promised him, after that you leave this body, you go, which is in a transcendental aspect, he's always with Krishna. Because his heart, his life is with Krishna. So you also here, lahat tayo, you can be with Lord Krishna while you're in the body. If you follow the process of the sacrifice of yajna, guided by a spiritual master. Because you will be patient. Because what is 10 years? What is 6 months? Or 5 years? Hearing in this body compared to eternity. This body is connected with time. Relative lang na temporary ka nandito. Pero dahil sa conditioning nyo, akala nyo, forever ako sa body. Okay? Kaya you go to church, Diyos ko po, wag sana mamatay nanay ko, pati ako. Hindi niya? Kasi connected kayo sa temporary world. Wala kang patience. Where will patience come? With wisdom about your true transcendental nature, your eternal. And your awareness about your love, that every time you focus your mind, the thinking, the feeling, and the willingness connected with this temporary world, bokya ka, illusion. You see that? And what is transcendental? Your relationship, your service, and it's directed to the source of happiness. to the pleasure potency, Krishna. And His desire is that we surrender to Him. Yun ang meditation mo. Kaya yung urge na mind, you're able to control the urge of the mind. Hindi ka agitated kagaya nung yung meditator. Ha? Tagal! 1,000 lifetimes? Pero may time. What is 1,000 lifetimes compared to eternity? Kaya nga, may discussion when my spiritual master was telling us, if there's a boat, if there's a vehicle going to Krsna, 100 lang yung kasya, 101, the spiritual master will let you go, so ride that plane, go to Krsna. And he will stay. But he's always with Krishna. So the devotee, tayo, how can you be with Krishna? By following the instruction of our spiritual master. Wherever you are, we must be faithful, truthful, like Bali Maharaj. Okay? The spiritual master tells you something. Do this. You don't do it. It gives you instruction. Do this. Follow this. Go to this place. You don't do it. You have no faith. You have no patience. You don't want to follow. Okay? They have no connection. You have a connection because we are always connected with Lord Krishna, but that connection of this filial relationship, trustworthy, surrender, patient, you make a stand to do what is pleasing to God, it's not there. It's about your will. You don't follow. Then you're not really that close. That is the difference between a devotee and someone who is not a devotee. Although we are all spirit, soul, servant of Krishna, but what I'm talking is about the consciousness. And what is ananda? Happiness. Doing the will of God, happiness. And if you are not connected with the source of happiness, the mind will always be agitated because there will be a misdirection of your love, guided by lust. You'll be directing it to this world, and you will be agitated. The mind will never be satiated because the heart, you, the person, will not be calm, satiated. You'll not be a sage. You'll not be able to control the urge of the mind. Kaya you're mindless. Okay? Alam mo yung, kaya mangyari sa atin, lahat kayo naglalakad. Alam niyo yung sinakwento ko sa inyo? All the cows going to the slaughterhouse, dinala sila from different places, kasama na yung mga baka. Lakad yung mga baka, kasama niya yung kapwa baka. Saan ka papunta dong? Diretso ta, kain. Saan ka galing? Tampilisan. Saan ka galing? Zamboanga. Saan tayo papunta? Diretso lang. Sunod lang. Kasi linya eh. Okay? Pagdating mo doon, nandun na yung ilagay ang ulo. Ganun at masama na eh. Okay? May ganun, batuta na may kuryente. Tug! Tug! Patay. Okay? Lagyan ng hook, putulin ng leeg, ganun. Drip lahat ng dugo. Lagay yan, gawing burger. Okay? Pero akala nyo, understand? When we have this desire in our heart, this truthfulness, this faithfulness, this surrender, which we must protect, take care of the plant in our heart. So the temple of God, this kingdom, must not be the residence of evil. What is evil? Masama. When we use this body, which does not belong to us, to suck enjoyment through the senses, directed by lust, then pwedeng nasa labas puti, pero residence evil. Ay, residence evil? Yung nakita nyo may tusok, may buntut, may pangil, pero nakangiti. Okay. So kung makikita mo yon, when you make progress in your spiritual life, you must associate with devotees. And the association, when we speak of devotees, pure, unalloyed, loving servant of God. And how do you associate with them? By hearing their activities from our spiritual master, from our instructing spiritual master. That will be purifying, satisfying our heart. Because it connects us with what we're longing for. And it's centered around the Sankirtan Yajna, the prime benediction for humanity at large. Krishna, Hare, Krishna, and Rama. God's names is invested with transcendental potencies. Kaya when the devotee was asked, sinabi niya ng cobbler, what is Lord Krishna doing? Narayan, he's just threading an elephant into the eye of the needle. And he's so happy, wow, pour out my wonderful Lord. Sabi na naniwala ka sa akin? Why not? Okay? Why not? Okay? Tindihan niya? So, who reveals to you the truth? Krishna. Kaya pag lagi natin pinag-uusapan yung pastimes si Krishna, hindi yung pastimes ng mga kuwanggul who tries to play devotee and try to orchestrate something to do their own will. It must be pure, transcendental, not contaminated by material consideration. Okay? So now comes to the point na gusto kong i-point out sa inyo. Relationship. What is our relationship with Lord Krishna? Okay? Are you willing to make Krishna happy? Yes. By following the instruction of our spiritual master. You're not asking for anything, but you'll have everything. Okay? Service has the end itself. But if you have material consideration, you try to build a world of illusion to get something. You orchestrate something, okay? Just what I'm discussing last time. It takes the way of you have no patience. You'll be like the meditator, agitated always. What? Okay? You're not satiated. You're not connected with your whole life. You don't have patience. Kaya wala kang panahon, kailangan ko lang kumain. Hindi ka totoo. Buksan mo na agad yung pressure cooker. Sunog ka. Because you're not able to surrender your heart, your mind in humbleness. And you're not able to chant the holy names. Yun ang isa. He's not chanting the holy names of Krishna. The devotee is engaged in the ninth process of devotional service with patience, spontaneous. Spontaneous. Ngayon, ang tanong, are you chanting spontaneously? That when you walk, your mind will be chanting Krishna, Krishna. And you are able to be enthused by the Lord within the heart. Whatever you do, it's all about, how can I please Krishna? So that is a devotee. Hindi yung, nandiyan kayo, what can I get? Okay? You orchestrate something. Yung isa naman, inutusan, walk straight, do this. Hindi niya ginawa. So, truthfulness, faithfulness, to be truthful, that is a devotee. Because he or she, you, take care of your love. Okay? Your relationship with Krishna. Nothing goes between, not your mind. So the mind will be satiated because you can able to redirect it. Through the process of practice, 9 process of devotional service, guided by Krishna himself. Then you become focused. Your faith becomes so strong. You'll not be driven by the mind. Okay? It becomes spontaneous. Lahat na makita mo, you see a child, you remember Krishna. You see river, Jamuna. You go to the farm, Vrindavan. You remember Krishna playing. So your mind will be enthused and Krishna reveals himself to you by helping us remember what we have heard from the narrative of the pastimes of Lord Krishna coming from His pure loving servant. Hindi na yung na-experience mo mga budul-budul, yung mga paek-ek-ek dyan, hindi na importante sa'yo. Para sa'yo, it's not important. What is important is your heart and Krishna's heart. Your life to please Him. Okay? That is a devotee. So you'll be in samadhi, you'll be very focused. You can control the urge of the mind. The thinking, the feeling, and the willingness will be directed upon your true transcendental nature as eternally the loving servant of God. Is it clear? So we're not talking here about joining. We're not talking here about conjuring. Alam yung conjuring? Imagination. You must be very patient. Pag magluto ka, maghintay ka hanggang maluto. Hindi pwedeng magluto ka, wala ka pasensya. Okay? Yung beans, hindi pa pala luto. Wala kang pasensya, kunin mo, kainin mo, hindi mo makain, hindi matigas. Sakit ang tiyan mo. So is it clear? So let's chant. So I'll read yung isang aspect na talagang dapat tayo being patient. Ito, being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient. Kaya tayo enthusiastic, kaya tayo endeavoring with confidence kasi you have now come to the point of realizing your true transcendental nature, awareness, aham brahmasmi, I'm a different energy from matter. You now have realized your true transcendental position as eternally the loving servant of God. And if you don't follow that direction, that absolute situation, then you'll be misdirected. And now you experience now activities that you should be engaging in, action to do what is pleasing to God. And He's asking you to chant His glories. So that's all. Okay. Our spiritual master comes, Harinama, chant the holy names. So let's chant the holy names. Namo Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Namine, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestaya Everybody sing out. Madana Mohana, Madana Mohana. Haribol, Haribol. Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. Haribol, 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 Haribol. Goranga, Goranga. Gopala Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala Govinda.